Hello, dear students. I'm Tetiana Burák from school number 40, and I will be your teacher today. What day is it today? Yes, it's Monday. Some people say Monday is a hard day, or life is hard on Monday. What do you think? I think Monday is great. And I would like you to look at the screen and follow this great advice. Stay positive, work hard, go out and make your goals happen. Of course, right now we cannot actually go out, but we can do it virtually and still achieve our goals. I'd like you to revise these words. A goal, a result you want. For example, my goal is to know English very well. To achieve a goal, to get the result. I have achieved my goal. I already know English very well. So now I think you are ready to study. We'll try today to speak as much English as possible. So be attentive, please. Let us start with a short rhyme. Please repeat after me. They are written. It was broken. He is given. She'll be left. They were eaten. It was spoken. It was done. It'll be spent. Can you have a look at these sentences and say what they have in common? If you look at the board, you will see to have in common мати щось спільне. So what is in common? Of course, these are passive forms. So as you see, today our lesson will be about passive forms. What are we going to do today? We are going to remember what passive is, revise different passive forms, practice them, turn sentences from active into passive, and have fun while studying English. First, let us answer the question, what is passive? To remember that, I would like you to watch a short video. Let us wait for it. Now look, passives. What is passive? Okay, active, passive. Again, passive, present perfect. People have taken many stones, active. Many stones have been taken, passive. We can use by when we want to remember the doer of the action. Wind has damaged the Sphinx. Damage means zipsувати. The Sphinx has been damaged by wind. See, present simple. 10 million people visit Egypt every year. Egypt is visited by 10 million people every year. It is passive. We find the pyramids near the river. It is active. The pyramids are found near the river. It is passive. So here is present continuous passive. Experts are digging new areas. It is active. New areas are being dug by experts. It is passive. They are building a new museum. It is active. A new museum is being built. It is passive. Future simple passive. You can see the forms. They will discover more tombs. It is active, passive. More tombs will be discovered. We may never know all the secrets. All the secrets may never be known. So, we have looked at some sentences in passive, and now let us remember the rules. Look at the screen, please. How do we build passive? Present simple passive is built with am, is, are. These are present simple forms of the verb to be, plus the third form of the action verb. Many houses are built in our city every year. What does passive mean? It means that houses don't build themselves. They receive the action. Somebody builds them. Past simple passive was were plus the third form of the action verb. This house was built last year. Did the house build itself? No, it didn't. Somebody built it. I would like you to remember how the third form of the verb is formed. Look at regular verbs, please, and remember the forms of the irregular verbs. Remember, please, and don't forget it. Irregular verbs are very, very important, so you should learn them very well. Now we continue with some practice. Let us practice past simple passive. Look at the screen, please. Do you remember the word invent? I will help you. To invent means винайти. Okay, so let us make up sentences. The telephone was invented by Alexander Graham Bell. Dynamite was invented by Alfred Nobel. Airplanes were invented by the Wright brothers. And the light bulb was invented by Thomas Edison. Have you remembered that? Okay. Now the next thing. A novel was written by Charles Dickens. A play was written by William Shakespeare. A paperback was written by Stephen King. A screenplay was written by Steven Spielberg. So, do you see, all these things didn't write or invent themselves. Somebody invented them, somebody wrote them. Now the next form, it is future simple passive. Will be plus the third form of the verb. Such houses will be built in the future. Will the houses build themselves? No, they won't. Somebody will build them. Now, let us look at the passive of perfect tenses. Present perfect passive has been, have been, plus the third form of the verb. The new bird has just been discovered. Has it discovered itself? No, it hasn't. Somebody has discovered it. I hope you remember the word to discover, which means to find. The new birds have just been discovered. Have they discovered themselves? No, they haven't. Somebody has discovered them. Past perfect passive. They said the new bird had been discovered. You can see it is had been plus the third form of the action verb. Now, please remember, if we want to say who does the action, we use by. This house was built by my grandfather. That means that my grandfather was the doer of the action. If we want to say which instrument somebody used to do something, we use with. Meat is cut with a knife. A knife is the instrument we use to cut the meat. So, America was discovered by Columbus. Columbus was the doer of the action. He did it. We use by. This book was written with a quill. A quill is the instrument people used to write books long ago. Now we should answer another question. How to make passive sentences out of active? You can have a look at the screen and see that when we use active voice, a letter is receiving the action. He will write a letter. He will do the action. A letter will receive it. But when we speak about passive voice, a letter will be the subject. The action will still be received by it. But in passive voice, a letter will be at the beginning of the sentence. It will be a subject. Now let us remember that tenses do not change. When you turn active sentences into passive, tenses do not change. They stay the same both in active and passive sentences. See, wild penguins attacked my sister. It is an active sentence, past simple. My sister was attacked by wild penguins. It is a passive sentence, but the tense remains the same. It is past simple. Now let us do some practice and do exercises on different forms of passive. See, the task is turn the following sentences into present passive voice. Someone buys apples. Apples receive the action. My brother doesn't drink Coke. Coke receives the action. JP feeds his cat. The cat receives the action. So what should we do? We should use apples, Coke, and cat as subjects in passive sentences. Now let us check your sentences. Apples are bought. Coke isn't drunk. The cat is fed. So all these forms are present passive forms. Now let us do the same with past passive. The game, a new movie, books received the action, so they should be the subjects of the new sentences. Let us check your sentences. Pokemon Go wasn't played. A new movie was watched. 3 books were read. You can see that these are past passive forms. Now let us complete the proverbs. You remember what the proverb is? A proverb, прислів'я. So let us complete the proverbs. In present simple passive with the verb to do. In and to know. In past simple passive with the verbs to build and to make. In future simple passive with the verbs to tell and to laugh. I hope you have your notebooks ready and you can write these sentences, but now we can check them. Well begun is half done. Добрий початок – це вже половина діла. A tree is known by its fruits. Дерево знають за його фруктами, плодами. Rome was not built in a day. Рим не був збудований за один день. Fingers were made before forks. Спочатку Господь створив пальці, а потім тільки виделки. Ask no questions and you will be told no lies. Не питай, і тому тобі не будуть брехати. He will not be laughed at that laughs at himself first. Той, хто спершу сміється над собою, той не буде посміховиськом. You can see and you can remember these proverbs, and you can use all kinds of passive forms in them. Now, present perfect passive, the same exercise. They have already finished their geography report. What receives the action? Their geography report. Tourists have damaged the Sphinx. What receives the action? The Sphinx. I have just read the guidebook. What receives the action? The guidebook. Now let us check them. The geography report has already been finished. The Sphinx has been damaged by tourists. This is the doer of the action. I have just read the guidebook. The guidebook has just been read. And now we have a fun advice from one of the professors. How we can check if the sentences are active or passive. If you can insert by zombies, these are passive sentences. So we can have two sentences and check if they are passive. The evil witch chased Mrs. by zombies. No, you cannot do it. Doesn't fit, so the verb must be active. But if Mrs. Clark Reed was terrifiedly chased by zombies, this sentence fits. And so it is the right thing. Now, what have we done during this lesson? We have remembered what passive is. We have revised different forms of passive. We have practiced them. We have turned active sentences into passive. And I really hope that you have enjoyed what we have done. Now, our short lesson is over. Good luck and good health.